Hi, Steve here. As some of you may know, a few weeks ago, without really any notice, we suddenly found a situation where we were needed up here in Canada. And so, in just a matter of hours for Christina and some days later for me, we found ourselves leaving our home in Albuquerque and being up here on the West Coast, helping out with family. And we're not even sure how long we're going to be here. The reason I'm starting with that is to tell you that sometimes things happen in all our lives without much warning, and they can be unsettling. They certainly are filled with surprises and often uncertainty. I've been thinking a little bit about something that Stephen Covey wrote decades ago in Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. He talked about the law of the farmer, and he said the farmer needs to plow the land, prepare the soil, then at the right time plant the seed, weed, take care of it, cultivate it, and then there's a crop. And it's a long process. Sometimes it can be a good part of a year. But if the farmer doesn't do any of that, and he realizes in August that it's harvest time in September, he thinks, oh, quick, I've got to plow and plant. He's not going to get a harvest. You can't rush things. And that's really the law of the farmer. I was thinking about that in terms of our walk with Jesus, building a history with him. There's no merit in it. He doesn't love us more. He doesn't give us more favor, more grace, if we spend time with him and time in prayer. But what we do get is we get to know him more. We increasingly, very slowly, but like the farmer with the crop slowly coming up, we begin to know him in ways that we didn't before. The revelation of this relationship is its own reward. It reminds me of Matthew 13:44. Kingdom of God is like a man who found a treasure in the field, and over it's the joy of its discovery, he sold everything. That really this is what it's about, for us building this history of abiding in the Lord, because certainly prayer does not give us a pass against trials or troubles. Jesus said in John 16:33, in this life you are going to have troubles. And, it's too easy, and frankly, I hear too often that, if we just pray, God will keep us away from trouble, will keep us out of the situations. No. Psalm 73:19 says, 77:19 says, his path goes in the midst of the mighty waters. It doesn't go around it. So this led me to a passage in Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 7 and 8. Jeremiah says this: the man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence indeed is the Lord, is blessed. He will be like a tree planted by water. It sends out its roots toward a stream. It does not fear when heat comes, and its foliage remains green. It will not worry in a year of drought or cease producing fruit. This is reflected also in the very first Psalm. Psalm 1 verse 3 makes this same point. It takes time to build trust. He'll be like a tree planted. The man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in the Lord, is blessed. Trust in our human relationships, and frankly, even in our relationship with Jesus, it takes time to develop and to deepen. But he says that the man who is in this abiding relationship, his roots go down deep to, Jesus said, living water. And so he sends his roots out. This is about abiding, which is one of the central themes in John's gospel, by the way. Meno, it's all about abiding. And then he says that this is really interesting. It's this tree sends out its roots toward living water. It does not fear when heat comes. It remains green. It will not worry in a year of drought or cease producing fruit. A life that is built day by day by day in abiding in Jesus is not ruled by fear when the inevitable heat comes, when the dry season comes, when, as David said, the heavens are like brass. When the heat comes, not only does it survive, it stays fruitful. In other words, our lives continue to bear fruit. So I want to encourage us, you can't suddenly find peace. You can't suddenly, okay, now I'm going to spend time. It's a lifestyle, but it brings incredible reward. The greatest reward of all is just this intimacy with Jesus. But a byproduct of that is this life-giving flow that happens in the midst of the surprises and the ups and downs and the trials. So maybe you'll find yourself suddenly with almost no notice being transplanted for who knows how many months, or maybe suddenly your job will end, or suddenly there's so many suddenlies. But the point isn't then to try to press into Jesus, it's living out of this history with him. So that's part of what's been reaffirmed to me over these last couple of weeks. I hope there's some encouragement in that. God bless you.